I'm Faisal here, Birkbeck's Academic Registrar, and I'm really delighted to welcome you to Birkbeck's virtual graduation, our first virtual graduation, and to take this opportunity to congratulate you on reaching this milestone in your studies. We know it has been an incredibly difficult year for most of you because of the global pandemic. I'm really pleased that you've made it here today to celebrate and mark your fantastic achievements alongside family, friends, and of course your fellow students. We know that today will be different to your usual in-person graduation ceremony, but we have worked hard to ensure that it mirrors the spirit of them, and we hope that you will feel it does. We'll also be hosting in-person celebrity events for you so that you can meet your classmates and lecturers once it's safe to do so. We'll let you know more about these at a later date. Before we start today's event, we have some housekeeping information for you. Please keep your microphone muted until the round of applause after each group's names are announced. We hope you'll take part in giving a big round of applause to celebrate our graduate successes. You should be able to change the screen on the device you're watching on today. If you can, we suggest putting your screen in presenter view to view all videos and live content in full screen. You can select gallery view if you want to see everyone in your virtual room, but this will make the videos appear smaller, and if you are watching on an iPad or an iPhone, you may need to scroll to another screen to see everyone in your group. We'd like to remind everyone that today's event has been recorded. It is currently being live streamed on YouTube, and the recording will also be available after the event. We'll start today's event with some messages before moving on to the awards. Thank you very much indeed for taking part today, and we hope you enjoy it.
Graduating students of 2020, congratulations on attaining your degree, particularly given the circumstances in which you completed the last few months of your studies. Every student experience is unique, but I think everyone will remember 2020 as different. Whenever I attend University of London engagements, I'm constantly struck by the enthusiasm and energy that you display for your studies, and the range and achievements of your non-academic activities. With the world facing challenges none of us could have envisaged a few short months ago, and at a pace that requires flexibility and innovation, the skills and knowledge that you have acquired while at university are needed now more than ever to help reshape the future for us all. Your institution will support you now and into the future in your endeavours. While you may be missing the formal graduation ceremony this year, I hope you will retain the friends, the experiences, and the knowledge you gained during your studies. They will all be part of your foundation for the future. Once again, my congratulations, and I wish you every success as you embark on the next stage of your lives.
Welcome to this graduation ceremony, in which above all we celebrate the achievements of you, our graduates. Those are the words that I use to open my address when I speak to our graduates in person under normal circumstances in the 6 or so ceremonies we have at this time of the year in Senate House. This year, in our 18 ceremonies this week, conducted under much more difficult circumstances, I've chosen to speak to you live at each ceremony rather than be pre-recorded, because I want to be absolutely clear how much Birkbeck salutes your commitment and your achievements. In normal times, Birkbeck students have to juggle their work, their families with their studies, and they do so very successfully and achieve great things. But you have had to do much, much more than that. You have had to perhaps deal with health issues, you've had to deal with work issues, especially to do with the pandemic, and perhaps you had even to compete for the kitchen table or the laptop with your partner in order to be able to do your work. So these are tremendous achievements that you have gained in graduating today. And of course, we should pay tribute to your partners, relatives, and friends who have helped you to get here, whether it was by giving up the kitchen table, the laptop, looking after the children while you had to study, whatever role they played. We thank you very much for your contribution. But we have a message for the relatives and partners. Birkbeck is for everyone. You too could study in Birkbeck and be graduating from Birkbeck in a relatively short time. We have courses starting in January. For the first time, thanks to the excellence of our staff, as well as October starts, we will be introducing January starts. So now is the time for you to seize back the laptop, seize back the kitchen table, and begin your studies at Birkbeck. Whoever studies at Birkbeck will benefit from the tremendous authority and tremendous diligence of our staff. They helped you in the spring to continue and finish your studies, in the summer to have examinations and to pass successfully. And in the new academic year, they have taken all the steps to make sure that, with exception of laboratory classes, everything that we offer is online, so that we will not be beset by the images of students moving across the country in order to be cooped up in quarantine in halls of residence. At Birkbeck, everybody can study from home in their own way, in the flexible way that is the tradition of Birkbeck. We ask you, our new graduates, to remain associated with us. Join the Alumni Society, about which you will hear a little bit later. And you will receive this magnificent mug in which you can toast your achievements, perhaps by drinking your coffee or tea, or even with something stronger. Join us also in the political campaign to make everyone aware of the importance of Birkbeck. Government has woken up belatedly to the idea of lifelong learning. It has introduced the idea of loans being available not just for degrees, but for short courses and other higher education courses. But we hear that those loans may be subject restricted to those that the government considers of value, vocational courses and so on. We believe, and I know that you believe, that all the high quality higher education that we offer is of value. So please join us in campaigning to ensure that these loans are available to all, regardless of their prior qualifications and regardless of the subjects that they study. In the meanwhile, of course, today we do salute your achievements. You have joined the 197-year roster of Birkbeck graduates, and you have joined in a very distinguished manner. When we look back on this in the years to come, people will say, those graduates of 2020, they did something outstanding under very difficult circumstances. In the same way as we remember the graduates of Birkbeck who graduated during the Second World War, when Birkbeck was the only University of London institution to remain in London through the Blitz. So people will look at you and say, this is a very special person, a very special graduate. A few years ago, I joined a meeting of business leaders, and when I was introduced as the head of Birkbeck, one of them said to me, when I see Birkbeck on a CV, I put it to the top of the pile, because your graduates have the commitment that I want in my business. How much more is this true of the graduating class of 2020 and all the difficulties that you have had to overcome? On behalf of myself and all at Birkbeck, I salute your achievements. Congratulations and thank you.
Vice-Chancellor, President and distinguished guests, I present the following graduates from the School of Social Sciences, History and Philosophy. The D-Psych in Child and Adolescent Psychotherapy, Roni Bohr. The Graduate Certificate in Psychodynamic Practice, Gizi Abeles, Abidemi Adekunle, Hillel Ahmed, Keon Blair, Lucy Cox, Alessia Dialessi, Olaya Diaz de Corral Gutierrez, Vaughan Dutton, Francesca Foreman, Sarah Nicole Gardner, Hannah Heath, Alison Hilda, Eileen Honeywell, Barbara Jacobs, Vidar Jain, Soraya Kafstozi Amin, Monica Lerwy, Anna Rebecca Linden Stanford, Freddie Martin, Bettina Massey, Vienna McCarthy, Kerry McCluskey, Vasiliki Neophytou, Mark Patsai. Now, can I ask you to unmute your microphones, please, and join me in a round of applause for each other.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh.
The Graduate Certificate in Psychodynamic Practice, Linda Paul, Emily Penlington, Minakashi Ramuhun, Evelina Rimgalite, Francesco Rinaldi, Georgia Robinson, Pavlina Safarova, Charles Salt, Victor Sanchez Salvador, Zainab Sidat, Esther Sakadre, Jenny Singh Jarrald, David John Murray Soward, Christine Stead, Matthew Story Pugh, Huda Thakur, Donna Willis, Serap Yilmaz, Charlotte Young, Tamara Zenios, and Vanessa Zuin. The D-Psych in Psychosocial Studies, Flavia Ansaldo. The Graduate Certificate in Psychosocial Studies, Are Arembu Ndi Pankwang, Simon Cochran. Can I ask you now to unmute your microphones and please join me in a round of applause. Congratulations. The BA in Psychosocial Studies, Agnes Atin, Linda Baptiste, Fernanda Maria Bastos Nalin, Dominique Davies, Natalie Garzon-Gill, Charlotte Hahn, Saul Hardick, Mohammed Ismail, Sophie Kilpack, Lucy Latimore, Olusei Olale, Irina Oliver, Liam Pook, Sandra Prosper, Tony Robinson, Daniel Rose, Carl Tedder, Magdalena Zajac. The BA in Psychosocial Studies and Principles of Psychodynamic Counseling, Paulina Farrer, Eloise Griffin, Charles Hope, Kathleen King, Patricia Martinovich da Consejo, Sherry-Ann Mitchell, Rebecca Nobre Rogerio Nongo. And please unmute your microphones and join with me in a round of applause for your colleagues. The BA in Psychosocial Studies and Principles of Psychodynamic Counseling, Jiongwa Oh, Melisha Ramsey, Isabella Wright. The MPhil Studies in Nietzsche, Christopher Bowling. The Cert HE in Philosophy, Ioannis Koussouas. The BA in Philosophy, Francesco Binati, Abdelghani Chekar, Mark Freegard. Apologies. The Postgraduate Certificate in Culture, Diaspora and Ethnicity, Tana Balamburali, John Lynch, Sarah Noor, Dinah Segura Pineda, Carice Baker Quo. The MA in Cultural Diaspora Ethnicity, Thomas Bennett, Anish Chiba, Sahin Din, Roshni Goyate, Katrina Gray, Najma Hashi, Jessica Hirani, Zainab Mohammed. Akosua Paris Osse, Sylvia Remen-Yick, Shanice Scott, Sifan Zelalem. The Postgraduate Certificates in Education, Power and Social Change, Jodie Ann Johnson, Maria Munoz Maya. The MSc in Education, Power and Social Change, Zira Ahmed, Tariq Ahmed, Paul Anderson, Morelu Wakitan Ampampa, Gabriella Austin. Please unmute your microphones and congratulate each other on your wonderful achievements.
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
Yay!
Congrats. Congrats, everyone.
The MSc in Education, Power and Social Change, Tapada Begum, Christopher Brown, Christina Zineku, Oluwakemi Hassan, Hitome Imamura, Abigail Knipe, Samuel Lee, Charmaine Malik, Charlotte McNaughton, Vishal Narayan, Matilda Bukuya, Claire Rose, Farhana Hashim, Ludovica Sinskalti Benobo, Huan Tang, Claire Veyard. The Postgraduate Diploma in Psychoanalytic Studies, Liddy Penfold. The MA in Psychoanalytic Studies, Denise Alves Fruda, William Bennett, Charlotte Bly, Maria Caceres Casillas, Maria Connolly, Timothy Davis, Jack Dougal, Alexandros Evangelakos. And please can you unmute your microphones and join me in a round of applause for your colleagues. The MA in Psychoanalytic Studies, Thomas Fielder, Jessie Fuller, Elizabeth Gilmore, Troy Hewitt, Samantha Merry, Simon Milson, Imogen Moore, Maria Murta Hopkins, Sasha Nakuz, William Smith, and Judith Walker. The Graduate Diploma in Psychodynamic Counselling and Psychotherapy, Pia Baker, Anne McNally. The Postgraduate Diploma in Psychodynamic Counselling and Psychotherapy, Luke Grima, Rachel Hercombe, Alistair Moody. The MSc in Psychodynamic Counselling and Psychotherapy, Leila Al-Attar, Marie-Claire Barsley, Evan Bates, Tim Beeman, Rebecca Blanchard, Stephen Brown, Paul Karslake, Surbjit Chahal, and Anne Dunkley. And please can you unmute your microphones and congratulate each other on your wonderful achievements. The MSc in Psychodynamic Counselling and Psychotherapy, Yusuf Ferguson, Lucy Harris, Monica Killeen, Magdalena Kuczek, Frida Lagrange, Rose Lancaster Rouse, Elisheva Mason, Susie McClendon, Fatima Nami, Jennifer O'Gorman, Nadia Ould Ramul, Claire Pace, George Pearce, Catherine Phillips, Manit Relom, Maria Sari, Rose Siegel, Alexandra Shirley, Hayley Smith, Aviv Teller, Sophia Villalobos, Joanne Walters, and Philip Withers, and the Graduate Diploma in Psychodynamic Counselling and Psychotherapy with Children and Adolescents, Richard Peat. I can invite you to unmute your microphones and congratulate each other on your wonderful achievements. Congratulations.
Well done!
The MSc in Psychodynamic Counselling and Psychotherapy with Children and Adolescents, Maria Augustine Barrett, Beth Bolitho, Annalisa Brocklebank, Barry Crawford, Charlotte Dalmadge, Laura Linhares Marks, Zoe McCoy, Claire Ring, Alexandra Robertson, Emma Shapiro, Helen Thomas. The Postgraduate Certificate in Psychodynamics of Human Development, Aisha Kowar, Sophia Pemberton, Oliver Sills. The Postgraduate Diploma in Psychodynamics of Human Development, Esther Ebbing. The MSc in Psychodynamics and Human Development, Alexandra Mavalwani Wright. Selina Arthur, Melanie Bird, Tahita Bulmer, Melanie Friedman, Louisa Gladwin, Lara Griffiths, Sarah Hawkins, Maria Livanu, and Isabel Kiros. And can I invite you to unmute your microphones and congratulate each other on your wonderful achievements. Congratulations. The MSc in Psychodynamics and Human Development, Olivia Rose, Stephanie White. The MA in Psychosocial Studies, Viba Adlaka, William Brown Gott, Leah Burney, Alexander Clay, Matthew Collins, Cassidy Crawford, Robert Darnell, Isabel David, Claudia Di Gianfrancesco, Francis Horniold Strickland, Theodora Litova, Niti Martinson, Christian Moore, Sena Nikartagad, Robert Spears, Neve Vlakis, Sylvester von Schlebrugger. The PhD in Psychosocial Studies, the thesis entitled Queer Who, Doctor Who, Fandom, Gay Male Subculture and Transitional Space, Michael Stack. The PhD in Psychosocial Studies, with the thesis entitled Gay Men, Grindr, and the Racialization of Desire as Sexuality, a Psychosocial Investigation, Dominic Riley. The PhD in Sociology Research in Psychosocial Studies, Babushkas, Former Soviet Women Pensioners Aging in Russia and the UK, Hannah Shradrina. And the PhD in Gender and Sexuality in Psychosocial Studies, with a thesis entitled Rewriting Resilience, Exploring the Transformative Potential of a Culture Féminine, Matthew Martinez. And can I ask you to unmute your microphones and congratulate each other on your wonderful achievements. Congratulations to you. Thank you very much indeed for attending this virtual graduation. On behalf of the school and all of our staff, may I congratulate all of you on your wonderful achievements, and I wish you the very best for the future. This concludes the presentation of graduates from the School of Social Sciences, History and Philosophy. I now hand you over to my colleagues.
President, Vice-Chancellor, graduates and graduands, guests and colleagues. In these times of COVID-19, when social distancing has forced us to move the most significant date in the academic calendar, graduation, online, it is perhaps worth reflecting on some of the other crises that the college has faced during its long history of nearly 200 years. As you already know, Birkbeck was established as the London Mechanics Institution in 1823. It's impossible, I think, to exaggerate just how revolutionary the initiative was. At that time, 1/3 of all men and 1/2 of all women were unable to read or write. But more importantly, British elites were passionately hostile to educating working people. After all, the country was in political turmoil, and it was feared that educating the lower orders would destroy society. In particular, there was moral anxiety. 1825, Minister E.W. Grinfield fumed about the risks of educating working men. He argued that it would be far better that the common people of this country should remain totally illiterate than they should be thus furnished with tools by which they would inevitably work out their own and the public ruin. Educating women was also risky. The London Mechanics' Institution was unique because as early as 1830, it allowed women to attend classes. This means that Birkbeck provided higher education for women long before other institutions in the UK. After all, women's colleges such as Queen's College in Harley Street was not founded until 1848, and Bedford College the following year. Now, admittedly, the institution's committee continued for at least 3 decades to debate the propriety of admitting females attending lectures through the front entrance. Nevertheless, allowing women to attend classes was extremely progressive. And that was what was considered dangerous. As one critic complained, mightn't this lead to social intercourse with the other sex, which cannot be beneficial to morality? So, from its foundation, the London Mechanics' Institution, Birkbeck, was unique. Crucially, the leaders of the college from 1823 to the present shared one central belief. Birkbeck is about its people, their thoughts and ambitions, hopes and dreams, labours and laughter, hubris and failures. In sum, as we near the bicentenary of our founding, this is the time to celebrate the capacity of a Birkbeck education to help us become fully human and self-fulfilled by learning to use all our faculties: knowledge, imagination, sympathy. Perhaps it is time to resurrect what used to be Birkbeck's anthem. Vita Cabdima was composed in 1913 and is largely forgotten today. But at the centenary of the college in 1923, it was sung vigorously. The chorus went like this: at the hub of all the world, London surging round us, keep we Birkbeck's flag unfurled, nothing shall confound us. I can think of no better chorus for us today in the midst of epidemic. Today, like those times, we will not only survive, but flourish. You are now our alumni, and we are incredibly proud of you.
Congratulations to all of today's graduates. This is a big moment for you individually, of course, but also for all of you together, knowing that another swathe of students has achieved their objectives and can now face the future confident of their skills. Congratulations too to the academic staff of Birkbeck, who've seen you on your way to today's success so well. Of course, the world in which you're graduating has changed, and we're all learning new ways to live and new ways to study. Well, we're coming to cherish some of the benefits of this inconvenience: better air quality, birdsong, but also more time for books, more silences. The world is not as noisy or as demanding as it once was. So there's more space for introspection about your life, your studies, and the ambitions you have for your place in the world. There's no better time for you to do this than now, when you've learned the habits of study, when you've developed the capacity to be alone with your thoughts and the skill to seek out evidence and for whatever insights and propositions your studies have led to. Your mind and your temperament have been over the years prepared for just such challenges as this unexpected pandemic is throwing at us. You've already coped with many of the adjustments you need to make to your teaching, and they've been necessary and they've been successful. Now you're well placed to make changes to your lives and indeed to the world. This world, our world, is in great need of new thinking, new ways to organize itself, its patterns of living, its institutions. I invite you to step forward, not just to help those innovations on their way, but to originate them yourselves. The world's needs can be met by your own ambitions and skills. One day, you'll look back and see how out of every crisis, important changes, even revolutionary changes, emerge. We stand at just such a tipping point right now. And you, at the moment of your graduation, are among those ready and able to take up that challenge. So my congratulations again to all of you, and good luck to a difficult but amazing future. Thank you.
Class of 2020.
Welcome to the Birkbeck alumni community.
You might be in the UK or much further afield.
It might be morning, afternoon, or evening.
Wherever you are right now, we as fellow members of the Birkbeck alumni community want to send our congratulations to you for what you've achieved.
Completing a course at Birkbeck in normal circumstances is by no means an easy endeavour.
So what you have accomplished is really something truly special.
Today you are graduating, and you should take a moment to reflect what a huge accomplishment this is.
Completing your studies does not mean the end of your Birkbeck journey.
You are joining a community of over 60,000 alumni in over 140 different countries.
So no matter where you are in the world,
you won't be far from a fellow Birkbeck graduate.
There are lots of exciting events, activities, and opportunities for you to stay connected with Birkbeck.
Visit bbk.ac.uk/alumni
to find out more and update your contact details.
We are proud to share this day with you.
Have a wonderful time celebrating.
Congratulations.
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 Congratulations, Class of 2020.